This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
Baby carriages versus marriages.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. All right, let's get right to it. Tonight, we're going to be discussing baby carriages versus marriages. Okay, so as it relates in this conversation, when we say baby carriages, we're talking about, do women and men prefer to have babies as opposed to having relationships that lead to marriage? So do they just want to be sperm donors and things of that nature, and just receptacles for sperm? I'm coming off real hot tonight. So do they just want to be baby mamas and baby daddies, or do they want to be husbands and wives? And what are some of the issues that come from being unwed parents? Now, legally speaking, when they're referring to an unwed parent, it usually consists of just the mother. But again, for tonight's conversation, we are going to add the unwed father in there as well, the man as well. All right, so let's get to it. First question: what are some stigmas that are attached to being an unwed parent? Patsy?
For women, they could be called whores, bitches, sluts. Whatever a woman can be called in the general population, and that includes women as well as men, being called any number of names that society can lay on a woman because you had a child out of wedlock.
Okay. Bert, same question. What are some stigmas that are often attached to being an unwed parent?
I'll go along with Patsy. You're a Jezebel, right? I mean, I guess biblically, I guess it is a sin to have a children out of wedlock. You're a sinner.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm wrong with that. I don't want to put too many names on anybody. I ain't no judge. I ain't here to call you what you ain't.
I mean, it's an open forum. You know, you're stating your own opinion. You're giving your.
I know, but I just feel out of wedlock, in wedlock, the mother is the superpower, superhero. I mean, you don't get a sick day. So I ain't in no place to judge no woman that's having children out of wedlock because the man ain't shit and he done moved on and left you to raise a baby alone. You're a superhero.
All right. Sean, same question.
I think, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback and push back on the answers that was given earlier. I heard one individual put the deadbeat on the guys. I know a lot of women who don't have any interest in getting married and wants to have children because that's what they believe that their purpose on earth was, to be a mother and not necessarily a wife. But what the stigma that is called on them could be anything from just loose, a woman or a person, man with no morals.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Gregory next. I'm sorry, Sean. Let's go to Gregory next.
I think it's cool to go to school, but who made that rule? For some reason, America is hypocritical and we're supposed to be a nation of, I thought we was a nation of Christians, but Obama denounced that. So now I'm looking at it as these people are evil. They're evil and they want us to follow their ways. Who the hell made up the rule of somebody being a bastard because their parents wasn't married? Who made up the rule of getting married? You gotta start questioning things. That's all.
Okay. Dude, same question.
Well, 1 + 1 = 3. You can't, when you put two together, it has to make something else, as I always says. And when things are out of order, things fall out of the wayside. So when I don't think anybody, when this all said and done, I don't think anybody, the majority, I don't want to say anybody because there are people out there that do. The majority of the people, men and women that have children out of wedlock, I don't think they go and put says, you know what, I'm gonna have a baby out of wedlock because because a lot of us wasn't raised right. We were raised out of order, so we just go fucking. We don't expect to have children. It's just the thing to do. We fucking old. 15 years old, you got a baby now. They didn't plan that shit. It just happened. Why? Because they were using a weapon without instructions, and that's a lot of us as children, and a lot of us today are just running around with a weapon and not understanding what we're doing. And today have a children. The next thing you know, you got 10 children, 15 children. She got 3 different babies, daddies. He got 5 babies mamas, all because it's the sexual desire. They never
Story
taught.
of the ghetto.
That's all it is. But I don't think they say, you know what, we're gonna have a baby. Very few of them do that because you have some that like, look at the situation we're in. You ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. Let's have a baby. Very slim. That's very slim chance of that happen. But the majority of people, they just fuck without the proper protection and the proper the whatever you want to call it. But that's what it really falls down to. I don't think they intentionally says, "Oh, let's go fucking have a baby," knowing that we don't really have anything to provide or care for this child.
Okay.
Sex in our neighborhoods is just like drugs and all the other shit. It's an escape. It's an escape. It's something to do. It's an escape route. It's we do it without knowing the really consequences.
Okay. Makes good sense. All right, y'all coming out the gate, dropping knowledge. Okay, let's get some perspective. Let's get the female perspective, some more female perspective. Itima, you with us? Yeah, turn your mic on. All right. So guys, anybody's having technical difficulty, just hit me in the chat. Let me know what's going on. If you want to pass on the question or something, you could text me or you could hit me in the chat. Let me know what's going on. But I'm gonna go around the board to those that I know that's on. Anybody just joined us, just if you want to answer the question, just make sure you let me know that you're here. All right, Robert, same question.
What do they call women that have children and they're not married?
No, the question is, what are some stigmas that are attached to unwed parents?
Everyone else answered it.
Come on, Bob. When you got more to say than that? You've been talking all this shit since we got on.
And I'm rubbed the wrong way, so I don't have shit to say to that question.
All right, so I'm gonna try. Let me see. Is there anybody that I missed that wants to answer the question? All right. Tanya, are you with us?
Let me pop in. I think Tanya bounced. Bob made her mad.
All right, go ahead.
She's with us.
Yeah.
And Timmy's with us now too.
Who said they wanted to address it?
I just wanted to pop in. I mean, ideally, like, let's talk realistically. When couples find out they're having a baby, no one's under the assumption that the guy or the girl are going to break up. Everybody is looking for that family platform that we so desire because our lack of. But the dream is the American dream is to get married and have a family and buy a home and live happily ever after. That's what they're selling us as the American dream. But like dude said, a lot of men are out here using that thing without the instruction manual, and we get situations that don't warrant that. But ideally, most people are looking to have children and to raise children in a two-parent home and white picket fence, and that's what they've been selling us forever. But it's not a reality.
And
It's an option, but it's not much of a reality in this day and age.
so I'm gonna piggyback on that too. I'm gonna speak on that. So I agree with you and Dude Bird. I'm gonna take it a step further. So I think that too, realistically, depending on where you are in life, what stage, your age, what's going on in your life, your environmental factors, I think you have a different approach to it. See, a lot of times people want someone to love them unconditionally. So what happens is too, they bring babies into the situation for that reason. Then you have people
I
that
don't think humans are able to do that.
what?
Provide unconditional love. There's conditions in love
Well, when
in the eyes of human.
Well, when I say unconditional, I'm talking about the child.
I know.
The child gives you unconditional love until it gets older and it learns the ways of the world and stuff like that. But the baby usually gives you unconditional love. Because they're a sponge. They absorb everything that you're putting
In
out.
your animal, that's unconditional love. Pet.
Your pet.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me people have more unconditional love for a damn animal than they do for a human?
Animals
Yes,
have
there's more
more
loss for
Yes.
animals than
unconditional.
humans.
Okay.
Animals
I heard.
Listen,
present
your animals
America
unconditional.
don't
is
talk back.
hypocritical.
No,
You
no,
know
no,
Animals
why
no.
that
don't
is,
United.
Bird?
listen. I'll
Because
wait.
Why?
animals understand order and humans don't.
And animals don't
Absolutely.
sit here and talk back and argue with you. They give you unconditional emotional
They
support.
just do what they do.
Even if unfortunately, you can treat
If
an
they
animal
want to go
bad and
stick
they
they
still love
something
you.
in something else, they gonna
Yes,
go do it.
yes.
The animals.
Well, all right. So Timmy,
They
welcome.
sense human trait.
Tim, you want
Late.
to get it? You hold on one second. Timmy, you want to get in on this? You gotta turn your mic on.
Well, I gotta say, this might be my last podcast for a few weeks.
What's up
I'm
with you?
about to go in and have a triple bypass surgery on my heart.
Oh,
Listen,
wow.
Bird, that's a lot right there.
Yeah,
Boy,
shit.
struggling, man. I just had another heart attack,
I'm
had more stents.
I keep you in my
Hoping
prayers,
for a
but
good,
There's
quick
no more
recovery, big
room
dog.
for stents. So they want to, take out some veins out my leg and reproduce arteries in my heart.
We're
So,
definitely going to keep you in prayer, brother.
Definitely.
I need big prayers to get me through this.
So, Bird, when is this happening?
Where you getting it done at?
St. Elizabeth.
Where's that at?
That's right
Right.
around the corner from where we went to
That's
for
one of the best
Carriages.
hospitals in the world.
Yeah, they got good cardiology situation. I've been going there dealing with these heart attacks since 2020. So I'm just going to stick to where,
Right,
they
yeah.
did all the work at. You know what I mean? They
They
got the
got your
history. They
history,
got a
yeah.
good cardiac clinic there. But yeah, man, your boy's struggling, man.
What day is this happening?
I believe I'm going in on November 16th.
Oh, yeah,
November
maybe you can
13th.
come see me
Before
before
Thanksgiving.
then. Maybe I can have
Yeah,
a drink and a smoke from out of retirement because
I
I
would
don't know
enjoy
what
that very
this
much.
is. Yeah, well, I don't know what this is
Yeah, we
promising,
can
but
have like a mini Friendsgiving or something like that real quick before you go in for surgery, big
Yeah,
dog.
November 16th. That's what you said the day is on. So
I
make
think
sure
it's the
I'm not.
13th or the 16th. I'm trying to figure it out, but
All
yeah,
right.
it's crazy.
when you certain of the date, make sure you get the necessary individuals, the information so that we can show and spread the love and show up in
Yeah.
support, so we could be there. But before we even move further, Tanya,
Yeah.
can you lead us in a prayer, beloved?
For Bird?
Yes, for Bird.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you. We give you glory, honor, and praise. Your word says that wherever there's two or more in agreement in prayer, you are in the midst. So we thank you for being in the midst of this prayer. We pray, Father God, that you watch over Bird and protect him, Lord. The doctors that are going to be doing the surgery, may they use your wisdom, and may you be you are the great physician. So you give them your wisdom to make sure that everything goes perfectly well and that it's a successful surgery. And we just give you all the glory, honor, and praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. We will keep up on that. Tanya, while I got you, beloved, let me let us try to get back to the show because that's really, that's a spinner. Tanya, while I got you, let me ask you the same question. Can I get you to answer that question? What are some stigmas that are often attached to unwed parents?
Oh, unwed. I was an unwed parent, and I don't think that I had a stigma. Because I knew that I was going to be a parent early on in life. I wasn't expecting to be a single parent and unwed. Just like what Bird said, I expected to be with someone who was going to love me unconditionally and we was going to spend the rest of our lives together. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But part of the reason of me being a single parent is like what you said, I was looking for unconditional love. And it's true that the kids give you unconditional love while they're a baby until they learn the ways of the world. But when sin sets in, when their own thinking sets in, and they're pliable, malleable to the influences of the other people's thinking. And also, as far as the animal is concerned, I've had a couple of animals, and as long as you love them, they give you back that love. But when you mistreat them, they mark their territory and get you back.
I think that's true in most situations, animals and humans alike, because if you back a human into a corner too, eventually they're gonna lash out too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, stay with you, Tanya. I'm gonna ask you the next question. Where does the support come for the unwed parents? If any. Where does it come from? Where should it come from?
First and foremost, I mean, if you have a relationship with the Almighty, there's where your strength and support come from, but also from the village, from the people you have around you. The grandparents, the parents, if they're in your lives, your community. You look for those who have the morals and values that you wish to instill in your children, and that's who you bring into your village.
Okay. Patsy, same question.
Hopefully it does. If you're still having the relationship with the father, then the mother ended up giving custody to the father when she gave birth. You'd hope like both the parents are giving support to each other, and then it stems out from them to their own personal families as well as your friends and the church and of course God, first most. But like your immediate surrounding community and then maybe the outer community. giving you your support, your medical support. Yeah, wherever you can find support to help raise these children, or child. Yeah, and it kind of helps. Hopefully, it'll stem. Stuff will stem in once you stem out and finding your outer community beyond your family and your friends and your medical establishment.
Okay. Timmy, you with us? All right, he might be having technical difficulties. All right, we're gonna go to Do. Same question.
My bad, because I was listening to what Tanya and what Patsy was saying. I forgot what the question was.
No worries. Where should the support for unwed parents come from?
Well, it should come from the families first, most, but if in most situations there's dysfunctional families, so you just have to find somebody, like somebody mentioned. I think it was Patsy. One of them mentioned it. That's why I was listening to it because they was right on point. But you have to find somebody in your life that you trust. And I'm going to give you a good example because I was one of those kids, and if I didn't find Tootsie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I would be. But
Hmm.
I knew where to go. And then when I had children, I had my children around Tootsie as well too.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to find everybody got one, at least one person that they can find comfort and peace in, whether it's a friend, whether it's and it has nothing to do with a lover and a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Outside of that, there's especially an elder person. You have to have somebody in your life. You're like, oh, this is a cool guy. I like talking to him. Or he makes sense. Out of everybody around here, he's the one that makes sense. Out of everybody around here, she's the one that makes sense. Oh, this person's real. You got to use your discernment. And even because even if you don't trust nobody, like I don't trust nobody, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
trust this person. That's what people are resort for today, but it's really supposed to be the families.
And let me say this too, all praises due to the Queen Mother Tresna. She Tootsie, Mom Tootsie, if you cannot look and see, the purpose that she had and the wisdom and the guidance that she was eagerly providing for all those around her, you couldn't see what she was capable of doing. You was wearing blinders because that woman did a lot for a lot of people
She sure
outside
did.
of her immediate family. And
Mm-hmm.
and I will say this, and I said this before, that lady saved my life
Mm-hmm.
at one point. So but that's a different story. But I'm telling you, she provided guidance where it was
Mm-hmm.
truly needed. She really did.
She
So
was
God
truly
bless
had a
her.
Deborah spirit. She had a true Deborah spirit.
That's right. She was a very godly person. And if you didn't know that about her, that's because you didn't know her. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sean, same question. Where should the support come from for the unwed parents?
The support should come from, whatever their village is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, their family, the person that they actually had the children with, provided it was on, amicable situations. Um, yeah, just pretty much, like I said, their family, their village, whoever they surround themselves with.
And I'm glad you said that too, Sean, when you said family and village is consist of whoever they surround themselves with. Paraphrasing, but that is true because a lot of times people think your village is made up solely of just your blood, but it's not because sometimes you have to look outside of your family circle to get what's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Gregory, same question. Where should the support come from?
I feel like the same thing with wedded couples, the village, like everybody's saying. Should be the same thing. It's no different than if you're a person born in wedlock or a person born out of it.
Okay. Robert, same question. You gotta turn your mic on, Brimage.
They all answer it. It's your family, your friends, your team, your supporters, and the people that you should be worrying about is yourselves. You're the one that made this family. If you and your man or woman can support each other when there's no one else there for you, then I don't know what to say. You should be supporters of the decision you made. And like I said, your team, your family and friends.
Okay, well said. Somebody look it up and see what other members we have on the panel. Because again, I want to make sure that everybody's getting a chance to answer these questions. I don't want to slight anyone. So if we're missing anyone, just shout out if you want to answer the question. Bert, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right. Where should the support come from?
I don't know. Honestly, God should be the number one support you're looking for, but without a doubt, I mean, it takes a tribe to raise a child. So, yeah, support should come all around.
Okay. All right. So if I didn't miss anybody, I'm gonna go on to the next question. Does anyone else want to take a shot at this question?
I think Intima is still here, but I don't know.
You guys answered it. You guys answered it.
Okay, Itima, stay with us. Stay right there. I'm gonna ask you this next question first then. What are some obstacles that unwed parents face, encounter?
Having to do things on your own for your child, like when your child gets sick, just supporting the child. Um, when you don't have that partner, that you don't have that support, because that's after God, that's the support you immediately need after the person that you have the kid with. And then after that, it'd be, I would think, my mom, the grandparents, the village around. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, it's hard when you don't have the support of the person you did have that child with. And you have to run around and do everything on your own.
Okay. Robert, same question. What are some obstacles that the unwed parents encounter?
Um, each of them reminds me of when my daughter lost her mom's, and I rarely seen that when you can't reach or really bring your child back to reason and to understand and the help that they really is so desperately is looking for from the other parent. And mind you, her mom's wasn't no longer with us. So there was days I was in my home, shedding tears that I wish her mom was still alive, where she can help this little girl lift some of this load off of me. Before all of that, mind you, I was a good father anyways. My children was always with me. But I really recognized doing it on your own when one had passed away. So it's hard. But like I said, you love your child, you'll make a way. You just got to believe in that everything is possible through the eyes of Jesus Christ. I mean, that's how you're gonna get through. He's gonna make a way for you. You believe you'll receive.
Well said, well said. Patsy, same question. What type of obstacles do unwed parents encounter?
Raising them children without real support on an everyday level, really being strict, you know, I think of my mother and watched her struggle with the three of us, me and my siblings, but she held a firm hand and disciplined, and she kind of laid down the law and gave us the fear of God, and you know, where we kind of knew what she said, she meant what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And um I'm quite sure there was many a nights where we didn't realize that she might have cried at night, and um because it was hard, you know, being a parent and not having the um the father of your children there, you know. Yeah. Although my mother did have my grandparents' support, but they obviously they had their own lives and had things to do in their own life. But my grandmother, especially, like, did support my mom and stuff. But it's just an obstacle when you have to rely on yourself to figure out, okay, how am I gonna get food pantries, toys for Christmas, going to different places to be able to provide that stuff, the essentials, everyday stuff, food, clothing, shoes, whatever, you know, and just making sure you got a roof over your head for not just yourself but your kids. So yeah.
Okay. Tanya, same question, beloved. What type of obstacles do unwed parents encounter?
Financial obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
childcare obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
work obstacles. That's just when you're facing those type of situations, you have to know that you have to have that relationship with God. I mean, and He'll let you know that He never gives you more than what you can handle. And when you develop that discernment of spirit, He puts you in places where you can meet the people who are going to meet the needs that you need at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, well said. Same question, Gregory. What type of obstacles do unwed parents encounter?
Um, Again, I'm gonna say I don't think that wedded parents don't face the same obstacles, but the world's a stage. And like Jim Carrey told that late night host, we're all acting. We're just following a manuscript. Nobody really knows nobody has the manuscript to how to do this life then. So everybody's facing some type of obstacles, raising their children and stuff.
Okay. Bird, same type of question, excuse me, same question. What type of obstacles do unwed parents encounter?
Well, I mean, I would say unwed, does that mean they're not together no more? Or are they together and just unmarried?
Um, Usually they're what's the name, estranged. They're living separately.
I mean, I would say the ultimate obstacle would be that child. That child misses something in their life. Without that two-parent support system, I mean, unfortunately, it's proven mother's love is just not enough. We're raising a soft generation of men because they're being raised by women that call all the shots. They don't see the authoritative male figure in their life to understand. So ultimately, the biggest sacrifice is the child.
Mm, mm. And I agree with you. because a lack of male presence. I was just having this conversation with my daughter. A lot of issues with a lot of these so-called wayward children, these troubled boys and stuff like that. Even the daughters. There's a lack of positive male modeling. You know, they're not present. And they're not present enough. They're not consistent. And the child recognizes the authoritative figure. They recognize the authority that is often accompanied when dealing with a man. I'll just say that. And if I'm wrong, you women can
The yin and the yang, it has to be balanced. That's what it really comes down to, the balance.
definitely. So you do need that male presence to support in that woman. Um, let me see. Sean, same question.
Um, excuse me. Financial, emotional,
Mhm.
definitely. You never know what a single parent has to do in order to make ends meet and in order to survive. Like when your back is against the wall, anything is possible. Things that you may have thought that you never would do, you will probably end up doing just to make sure that you have what you need, whether it be, clothes on your back, food in your kids' mouth, roof over their heads, whatever it takes to stay above the water. You can trust in God all day long, but at the same time, in trusting Him, you got to get yourself out there and make things happen as well.
You got to do the work. Faith without works is dead.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Dude, same question.
Now, you said the hurdles, right?
Yep.
What type of hurdles?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you an example. I have to tell you this in the story. So now, I have 7 children.
Mm-hmm.
Right, two of them are my stepchildren. I had them since they were 4 and 2 years old, so they're my children. But that is so 5 biological children were given, and four women. I was in every one of my kids' life, paid child support, did all that, visitation rights, came and spent all together. All 7 children, we were always together. And Sabrina's married now. As you know, Sabrina's married now. She has a husband. So I noticed something. Now, the daughter that I have with my wife that she grew up from day one in the house with us. She's more focused. She's more sharper. She knows how to finish and stuff. She knows how to deal with much things better than her brothers and sisters at age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I even noticed that with Sabrina and her family, her husband, the one that her and her husband have together, the same way out of all the kids. It's not that we love them more. It's just that they spent the most time with us together.
Mm-hmm.
They got to know mommy and daddy together, the yin and the yang together, not the yang over here for a couple of hours or the yang over there they got to see how we interact together, and they got to see how we finish things together. So when a child is looking at it, affects all the other children because all my other children learn how to deal with things too as well. But she's more dead. I noticed between the one that Sabrina and her husband got together and the daughter that me and my wife got together, it's like they got their shit more together than the rest of them. Even though the other ones got their stuff together too, but they're like more together. They think bigger and they drive for bigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they grew up in a house with their mother and their father. It's not that they're better than the other kids or they got more love than the other kids. It's just that they would air every day with their mother and father growing. It's a difference. It's a big difference. So the hurdle is that a lot of kids that got the shared times in between mothers and the ones I'm not talking about the ones that are bad, they don't get along because we all know the drama between that. I'm talking about even the ones that they try to do the best to work out. They share time, they do everything they got to do, they do whatever. It's still not the same. It's still not the same. It's still not the same. They're supposed to be in the house together. That'll be so the hurdle you learn is all these different things. Because in one house you got rules, in another house you got rules. Your mother does things this way, your father does things. You're jumping back and forth. You're jumping back and forth.
And I can attest to that because my even with me with my daughters parenting them here and then them going back to their mom's house, it was like two different parenting styles, two sets of rules, and it shouldn't have been, because my thing was, let's work together and let's get some rules that's going to apply in your house and in mine. So it's like the discipline strategy should be consistent and they should be equal with mom and dad. So it shouldn't be no situation where the children are able to undermine the parents, because that's what they start to do. Because when it's just one parent that is there more than the other. I've also, witnessed, like, I'm gonna tell you something else. What
The
I know,
mother's always trying to damn downplay the father's position. That's what it be. Like Dude said, you need both parents, right? But if you're feuding with one another, you both are downplaying each other's position in your kid's life. That messes them up. That makes them wonder which one, and then that's where the undermining goes. Well, I'll ask my mom things, and she'll let me do it. You know, and they ask you something, you say no. I'm going to ask mom because mom always let me do it, or vice versa. I ask dad. Like, say the mother say to the daughter, I'm not paying for this. You're gonna have to pay it on your own. Dad, could you help me out and help me? And because that's his daughter, he gonna look out and pay for it. While the mother's going on about him, you know, helping her out and getting her out of a situation that the mother feel like this should be a learning lesson.
All right, so if you just joined us tonight, we are discussing basically the title of the show is Baby Carriages versus Marriages, but what it comes down to is the unwed parent versus the married couple. And we're gonna get into the married aspect of it too, because we just been talking about the unwed. But let me go to the next question. Let me see. Itama, you with us?
I am.
All right, so here's the question. Is it harder for the unwed mother or unwed father to pursue and complete educational goals as well as a career goal? Is that too much?
I don't think it is. I think there's always a way, the way life is set up right now, there's a way, You just have to find the resources. And again, like we was talking, also the village helps raise children, you know what I'm saying? So like the people around you, support system, I don't think it's hard for someone to go, unwed father or mother to go back to school. I don't think it would be hard for them. The resources is out there.
Okay. Yes. Let's go to Robert.
Go on, Dave. Ask the question.
The question is, do you think it's harder for the unwed father or unwed mother to pursue educational goals and career goals to achieve them?
None if they're really driven and they really want to accomplish their goal by any means necessary, they will make it happen. But it's always good to have a support team, someone that if you have children, you can count on them to watch your children while you go to school for a set amount of hours a day. But you got to really trust in who is watching your kids today. So if you get a good support team, you have to be worrying about it while you're in school for a certain amount of hours. If your child is safe, being just safely taken care of. Who cares what the wrongdoings they will be doing? Because I care less to mention all them because it could be a lot of things they can do wrong to your children. But as long as they're safely taken care of, they're in a safe place, you should be able to accomplish what you set out to do. And even if you do not have that support team, um, there's ways of trying to do a lot of your classes online. So you might be able to do it in the home. If you're fortunate to have a desktop or whatever, you should be able to get it done still.
Patsy?
Depends on the struggles that they're having at home, but I think if it's you have structure for the kids and they're pretty much like um good kids overall, it kind of will provide like instant like a positive role on, well, dang, mom or dad, they the ones that's only raising me in the house, so it kind of gives them an incentive to do better in their own personal schoolwork while they're between grade school and high school, and it kind of encourages the child or children to say, my mom, she's a single parent, or my dad, he's a single parent. If he can go to school while raising us or me, well, that's a goal that I could probably achieve as a young adult once I get past high school. So, you know, depends on who you are, and then you got to think on what you're actually trying to encourage that child to do, and say, like, if mom and dad can do it as a single parent, you can do it as a single person without children, um, and continue your education and continue to do good for yourself as well as the world,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Bert, you still with us? You gotta turn your mic on. Don't come back to Bert.
I'm here.
Okay. So the question is, do you think it's harder for the unwed father or unwed mother to pursue their educational goals and career goals?
I mean, I'm going to say, unfortunately, once you become a parent, you end up putting some of your own personal goals and dreams aside to encourage dream and goal for your child. I do believe it's a lot harder for the unwed mother, which is the custodial parent, to pursue a career and a goal because, again, food still has to be put on a table. Care for this child has to be established before you're even able to do anything for yourself. So it is unfortunate. I believe it is harder for the woman to kind of get those goals accomplished when, like I said, you don't get a sick day, you don't get a vacation, you don't get a day off, you don't get I don't feel like it today. You still got to get up and make it happen as a parent. And I don't know. I just think it's harder. Many women don't get to um, accomplish some of these goals that they had in place before children.
Mhm. Gregory, same question.
I'm gonna agree with Bird and Patsy on this one. Once again, it's cool to go to school, but who made that rule? Once again, and you have these situations where it depends on who the people are. Mother could be somebody who doesn't really care and she wants to party all the time. This girl wants to party all the time. You know what I mean? So it's happening. And then you have men who really probably don't give a goddamn about these people. You know what I'm saying? So it's the way of the world right now. Some evil things going on.
Hmm.
Okay. Tanya, same question. Do you think the unwed mother or unwed father have a has a harder time of achieving their education and their career goals?
I'm gonna say that it's the mother. Um, like Bird said, they're the custodial parent. And I was a teenage mother, so my goal of going to college was postponed until after I had 3 kids, and then I tried to work a full-time job and go to school. I burnt myself out. So one, I didn't finish. I need to go back and finish to get my degree. And you're never too old for that.
Nope.
But yeah, I think it's the mother.
So let me give you guys a little fun fact real quick. The the rate of unwed parents of yesterday compared to today, it was 3% yesterday. Today is 40% worse than what it was and yesterday. Yesterday. All right, Timmy, same question. Is it harder for the unwed man or woman, to pursue and achieve education and careers?
Okay, well, for all these businesses, I say I don't.
I would say both, because I've seen stories where a man had a young man had scholarship. His girlfriend got pregnant. He said, "Well, I don't want to not, be missing out on the thing to, like um diapers and getting up with them and all that stuff. That is bonding time. See, the reason why kids bond to mothers more because they get up and feed them. But if it was more fathers that would get up in the night and feed their kids and birth them and change their diapers and do the things that a mother do, then they will understand the reason why there's that bond, because of that. Now, as far as I think both parties make a sacrifice. Now it's up to them whether they feel like this sacrifice that I'm about to make is going to be uh, something that I really want. Because you can give sacrifice and give up things, and then things don't work out, and then but that's why a lot of them go back to school. Once things didn't work out, they say, hey, listen, I don't want to be like this. I want to have something, that I can call my own car, a house, and the only way I'm going to get that if I go back to school. So a lot of them wait until relationships are over to better themselves. But in the meantime, they're sacrificing on the count because they don't want to miss out the growing of the kid, and they feel like that's what a real man is supposed to do. Once he get a woman pregnant, he's supposed to go out and get a job and support his family.
Okay. Dude, same question. Is it harder for the unwed father or unwed mother to achieve their education and have a successful career?
I'm going to answer this in two parts. So
Huh?
when both male and female, when they both have good family around them, like their mother, father, family, grandparents around them, it can be easy for the both of them. And even when both support systems are there for the both of them, it's still always going to be easier for the single parent male. And I'm going to tell you why, because people sympathize with males who take care of their children. They always want to wonder why. Oh, he's a good guy taking care of his kids. Even he could have been the wrong one. No matter about who's wrong. I'm not talking about who's wrong or right in a relationship. If the male has the child, people usually sympathize with the male who's a single parent, then because they normally see women who they do that all the time. But when there's a male doing it, everybody's willing to want to help because he must be a great guy. He's stepping forward to take care of his thing.
Mhm.
And when it comes to both parties who don't have support system, it's going to be very hard for a woman, and it's going to be a little easier for a man for the same reason I said then, because there are going to be people willing to help this man and help him get along because he's doing an admirable thing. He's doing something he's supposed to be doing anyway, but that's how the world looks at it and those other people look at it. So it's going to be a little easier for the man on both parts.
Dude, you don't live in Massachusetts, do you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no. Cause listen, I know male friends who have their children, and a lot of people are willing to help them. A lot of people willing to help them. And you're talking about this, yeah. Now, I'm talking about without the government system help. But when it comes to the government assistance help, of course, the woman's going to get it more. But we're talking about people in general who's going to be willing to help somebody, with some more of a hurdle. It's easier for a male, and even with a male who's doing things on his own, still get assistance like a woman would. So yeah, it's still easier for a male. If he has already child, not fighting for the child, it's gonna be hard for him, like especially in Massachusetts. But if he has his child already in custody and it's his child, he's a single parent, it's gonna be easier for him. Easier for him.
Okay. Sean, same question. Is it harder for the unwed father or mother to pursue and achieve their educational goals as well as career
I
goals?
think I, oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Am I unmuted?
Nope, you're
Oh,
good.
yeah. Oh, okay. I think it's harder for the mother, only because of the fact that it goes with income, and society wise, women usually get the low end of the pay scale bracket compared to men. Um, child rearing responsibilities, meaning child care,
Mhm.
like that's out the roof now. Then just finding the time to even have the time to try to pursue their educational um, prowess. So yeah, I think it's the mother.
Okay.
All right, can I give y'all a fun fact? You can go search it. In
Yes, sir.
in today's time, single household fathers and to single household mothers, 19% for the fathers and 15% for the mothers. Which one you think is having a harder time? The father.
Okay.
Um,
That,
Well, you're right. It's so close that you really can't argue it. But in my experience, that's what I have seen. I had seen a lot of people more willing to help the man
I
who's a single
told you it depends on circumstance of who the people are. You
parent.
got to bring into accountability. Is this a crazy person or is this a stable person?
well, they're going to be more
Yeah,
reluctant.
pretty much. If they got
This
custody of their
person.
child, pretty much most of the time, if they're really good schizophrenic, they can hide that. But other than that, most of the times, most of the guys who take responsibility, a 24-hour, 7 days a week, like a woman takes care of the children, takes care, he's usually pretty much stable.
But
Yeah,
you're not always allowed that certain situation.
all right. So let's because I know we can go in another direction about this. So let's just stay on course. Eatsma, you still with us?
Yes.
Okay, let me hit you with the next question. Um, is it harder? Is it hard for unwed parents to find a suitable mate?
Yeah, it is.
Reason being,
It's really hard because you wanna make sure, like, now you at home, you gotta make sure, you make sure that home is peace, right? And you gotta keep your children safe, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the way the world's set up right now, like, people hide, they're really good hiding things. And so you have to be real careful who you're dealing with. It doesn't matter. You could be 5 years in with somebody and they still come up with new things. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
I
there's
want to co-sign
millions.
for her too. It took so when like back in the days, like in time, all of us, all of us are up there. So I'm saying like we're all children. So anyway, but back in the days, you grew up with somebody, you knew them, even their fuck ups, you knew. But when you start dating and people in their late 30s and 40s, you're right. There's a lot of shit you don't know about a motherfucker. You know
I
what I'm
was
trying to say?
I was
There's a lot
just
of shit.
I was just telling me and Eastman was
Even when
talking
you're
about that
younger, big
earlier.
dog,
We was just talking
you
about
don't know
that
what's
earlier.
running in those people's family. They could be schizophrenic.
No, no,
It's
you're
when
right.
they
But
get comfortable. They get comfortable enough to peel back the layers, and you're gonna keep peeling and peeling till you can't
Yeah.
peel no more.
I think the smartest thing nowadays is just to act stupid. Because people, when you act stupid, people kind of show you who you are, who
Ah,
they are.
Mm-mm.
Know what I'm
you know
saying?
what? You're
If you just
absolutely
act
right. Because
stupid.
listen, Apple and all of them used to say I act like Columbo. I be acting like I don't know what's going on, like I'm stupid, but I know everything that's going on. Be like, how come you didn't say nothing? Because I just want to end up like I didn't know what was going on, but I knew what was going on. So how come you never said nothing? Because y'all were going along with the shit. But you're absolutely right. Act stupid. You act stupid like you don't know what's going on, but you know what's going on.
yeah.
Columbo, the favorite detective.
There's a
There you go,
saying
girl.
what's understood don't need to be explained. And
There
sometimes I
you
think
go.
that people give too much explanation about stuff that should not get that type of attention. I mean, if you're a piece of garbage, that's what you are. But let me hit Bird with the same
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry.
Bird,
I'm sorry, Dave, for you going, Dave. Who was that who just said that? That's Kiana.
no, that
That
was
was
No, that was
Itima.
Ichima.
That was
Easter.
Itima.
So after they realize and they try to run some shit on you and they think it's stupid. Then when you check their ass, they be like, oh shit, don't they? They be surprised, don't they?
And quiet.
Yeah,
Yup.
Right. Yeah.
Because now they're
intentionally
And
sitting there
then
thinking all
said
that time they were
something.
running their mouth.
right.
All right, my bad, Dave. I just had to
No
ask
worries,
that.
no worries. That was good right there. That was good feedback on both sides. Thank you, Itima. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Dude. Uh, Bert, you still with us?
Yeah.
Is it hard for the unwed parent to find a suitable mate?
I would say in this day and time, yes, because the unfortunateness of it all is women tend to lose value
Ooh.
once they have children out of wedlock, and once they decide to have children, many men aren't interested in stepping up to take care of someone else's child. Um, Especially, I mean, you high value man making 100,000 a year. You really don't have much to offer. You already have a child out of wedlock, so that kind of takes away some of that value in what a woman can provide because that child has to come first. I know I'm not going to be the main in a woman's life that has a child already because that child has to be the priority. But I'm saying back in the day, the man was put above the children. The man got his plate before the children ate. The man got
Yeah,
everything before
yeah.
the children were cared for. So we're not living in that time anymore.
Kids
So
come
I
before.
to find a successful relationship is going to take a lot, and it's almost, I don't want to say unlikely, but the unlikeliness is more than the likeliness.
Okay, well said. Gregory, same question.
Unlikely people
I'm
create
gonna go with
unlikely happiness. That's what happens.
the way of the world. It's a little easier for women to find relationships. These people out here getting in relationships and then ending them quickly. I know plenty of single parents right now out here. So, like I told you earlier, there's some evil things going on. These people out here fucking, they're doing it, and it's really happening. They don't care if they met the person or if they had showed interest in the person, if they knew the person. It's going on right now. So you got the guys out here, they get stigmas put on them after they're a single, unwedded parent. You get what I'm saying? So it might be a little bit harder for them to actually find a mate because the same woman that's out here single doing her thing might be talking trash about this dude to the women community, and they're all falling into it. It's an evil way of thinking right now. There's some evil stuff going.
All right. Patsy, same question.
I do think it is harder to find a suitable mate as a single parent. But I also go back on women like because I noticed like when I was a teenager, by the time I hit my teens and everything, I don't think my mother was really looking for a suitable mate. She was just looking to find a dating partner, not necessarily someone to be full time relationship with. Because I know she's dated a couple of guys when I was a teenager, so yeah. So sometimes it depends on who you are, what you're looking for, and where your mindset is. And whether or not you want that your kids around somebody 100% as like a step parent or whatever the situation you might call it. Um so yeah, it really is harder to find that suitable mate. But if you're really not looking for a suitable mate but someone just to date, then that's on that person. It might be easy to find a dating partner than it is a suitable mate.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. Timmy, same question. Is it hard for a unwed parent to find a suitable mate?
Hell no. Hell no. Yeah. Unless they being picky. Now, as far as Patsy, what she talked about, she knows her mom was happy that they was gone. That's time for her. Just like our mother. When we was gone, all of us out the house, that was time for them to have fun, do what the hell they want to do, stuff they couldn't do while we was there. But now we gone, they can have a goddamn ball.
Um, so again, do you think it's harder for the unwed parent to find a suitable mate?
It ain't hard unless you make it hard. It's about you putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, and whether you want to be vulnerable again after you've been hurt. So it's all about you as an individual, because if you don't get back in the swing of things, or chop it up. Okay, this is something that happened. Everything is a learning experience. So you shouldn't repeat that experience twice.
Okay, well said. Tanya, same question. Do you think it's hard for unwed parents to find a suitable mate?
In this day and age, I'm gonna say yes, because man or female, they're bringing a lot of baggage into the relationship, into the hunt with them, and there's a lot of selfishness. Me first, me first, me 1st. So if they have children, they don't want to be involved because it's all about me. It's the meism.
Okay. Dude, same question. I know you were speaking on it when Itima was giving her answer, but you want to elaborate?
Say one again.
Do you want to elaborate? Do you want to take a shot at the question on your own? Do you have more to add?
Oh no, everybody did a good job.
Okay. Sean? Gotta turn your mic on, Sean.
Yep, I got you.
Yep.
I was going to be a little bit difficult because I was going to ask you what is your definition of suitable, but I won't do that.
No, you can do that. So to ask me what so let me just be clear about this. These are not these questions are coming off of the general. So because my if you want my definition of what's suitable is someone that's accountable, responsible, someone that's going to stand in the paint, somebody that's going to do the job that nobody else wants to do, someone that's going to take care of the child,
Basically,
children.
Mr. Right or Mrs. Right.
Hold on.
It's simple for him when you say that. Somebody that's right for him.
But he didn't
right
ask you. He asked me.
But see, that's where you lose people. You give them too much.
So Sean, as I was saying, it's just somebody, like I said, that's accountable, responsible, the person that basically steps in and does the job that nobody else does not want to do. And he takes care of the mother and the child. So he just takes care of the whole family. That's what I think is suitable.
And
women can't do that.
And I got that. I was, like I said, I was trying to be difficult with it. I was
one-sided.
trying to because I'm trying to with. I know you left it as general, but I was going to throw it out there.
No, you can.
For single mothers and fathers that find themselves in this situation, like we looked at it as if it was they got into this situation and it just turned bad for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because they ended up by themselves. But like I said, I know of a lot of males and females that actually set out in life to be a single parent because they just wanted to be a parent more than they wanted to be a mate, husband, or wife. You know what I mean? Exactly. And so to find to go and say to find a suitable mate and this and the other, sometimes they're so toxic themselves that what would be a suitable mate for them. So that's where I was going to go with it. I was going to be a little difficult with it.
Got you. No, that the question is the question. I mean, you answer it the way you perceive it. I mean, and did I answer your question though?
Yes, you definitely answered it. And okay. What you answered is what I knew what you was talking about. That's why I said I wanted to be, other than I wanted to be difficult.
Okay. And
that wasn't difficult at all because that was some wisdom.
That's some damn Common sense
Some
shit.
point, really.
And
Appreciate you
Gregory,
all.
and Gregory, I did hear what you said. So you said I was being one-sided. So I was addressing the question that was asked. So he wanted me to give my perspective. I'm a man. I can only give you the male perspective, my experience. I
Can
can't
I
give
take a shot at the
You
question?
can outlook on the
Hold
world.
on, Robbie. I can't give you the female perspective because I'm not a
You
female.
can outlook on the world though at the question in that perspective.
Okay. All right, let's agree just to disagree. Robert, same question.
Ask me the question so I can understand it.
Is it hard for an unwed parent to find a suitable mate?
I'm gonna try to be quick with this one. What might be suitable for me might not be necessarily suitable for others. So just because she or he might figure this person was suitable, don't mean that that person's suitable for me. And to bring it back to Patsy, and I'm gonna tell you, it's not hard either to find a suitable mate. So I answer that quickly. It's not hard. You just gotta want to find someone, open up your heart, trust within, give them a chance. If they mess up, don't be scared they're gonna mess up. Everyone's not perfect. It just might not be your time with that person. You may have thought they was the right one, because that's all we can do is say, I hope this is that girl or that guy for me. They look to be, but as time go on, you'll see that they might be the one or they might not be the one. And going back to Passy, a lot of people before they look for a suitable one, they're either doing this. You're either here to play or stay.
Okay. Bert, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, B. So here comes the marriage portions of the questions. Um, do you think that married couples have the same financial issues as unwed parents?
Absolutely. There's no discrimination of married, unmarried. I mean, money is the root of all evil. Money will destroy a family in a marriage.
Yes, sir.
So,
It's the love of money, not the money itself.
Money makes the world go round.
Money makes the world go round. Without it, you may not. You don't. And
yeah, I'm here.
without money, you
refuse to
don't matter.
believe that. Love make the world go around.
They told
No,
you
the
wrong.
Is
love
that the
of
truth?
money is
Where
the
you
root
gonna get
of
on love, son? You can't even cross the border. You can't cross the state border.
go ahead,
That's
B.
because we're living in that system. Love.
Without the money to provide for your family, you ain't looked at as a man anymore.
I know. I'm only messing.
Right.
You aren't a man in the eyes of that woman if you can't provide and protect. So
That's what
world
society
go
says.
round. They fill us with that
What
stigma
you
of
say, Bird? The same
bloodline.
woman that was saying you was a good man, and saying he's a deadbeat, he's a no good mother, broke
Yeah,
mother.
yeah.
So I mean, they made us think being poor and the Evans and good times was cool, but they weren't happy. They wanted you to believe it, but being poor, you ain't happy.
The father was always angry.
Yeah, and it broke my
He
spirit.
didn't
Right,
have no
here's
money.
what broke my spirit. He was
Tearing up
married.
the house.
He lived the man of the house on a TV show, Black Family, Black Poor Family, but he was married to a white woman and had biracial children. So it was kind of thinking, I guess, you were believing in the fantasy that they were selling us that being poor was acceptable and okay.
But you know what? Speaking of that, let me throw off topic just for 1 minute. Listen, that lady, what's her name in real life? Florida Evans,
That's the road.
Esther Rose,
That's the
Esther
road.
Rose. Listen. Let me tell you, this was back in the 70s. Y'all know how it was back for us back in the 70s when it came to television. There was nothing but hoes and pimps of us back then. They wanted her to do that show
Oh,
as
it
a
was hoes and
parent.
pimps since Columbus. The
Matter of fact,
Moors was pimps.
I know, but hold on. This is a good topic for what we're talking about because back then in the 70s, when they were putting that on TV, they wanted her to be a single parent, and she refused to do a show without a husband. And for her, she could have lost her job because they didn't care about people. Like, oh, we find another black person up there. We don't care about y'all. She put her career on a line to make that show what it is today. Because if it wasn't for her standing and putting her foot down, saying she wasn't going to do it without her husband, you wouldn't have been no James Evans. So she made that show. She put her. She's a pioneer. People don't talk about that. She put her career on the line. She refused to show a black family whether you were doing good or struggling without a husband and wife in the family. She refused.
Desmond, make that right.
That helped Bill Cosby do what he did with his wife. To do his, the situation that he brought to the table. And that was, like you said, from Esther Rose and John Amos.
Well, let's talk about that era, yo. These people couldn't read. The man came home, gave all his money to the woman so she can go pay the bills.
So
isn't that getting pimped by the government?
No, he was in the service. He was in the service.
Guys, before you was doing so good. Let's stay the course. So again, if you want to make that a part of your answer, do that when the question comes to you. So again, Gregory, do married couples have the same financial issues as?
Yeah, I've been saying that all night, that it's no difference between the unwedded and the wedded.
You have more to add?
It's part of the world.
No, that was it. Yeah, it's a part of this world that you grew up in. They taught you it's systematic.
All right.
Yes.
Same question.
If you live beyond your means, then you will struggle. But if you live inside your means, you will survive. You can prosper and be that person that has wide wealth. But if you're trying to start off be living beyond your means, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna have wealth. And that's what be going on. People be trying to shoot to the wealth, not knowing that these
people don't know what
who
wealth
got
is,
their
Uncle
wealth,
T.
that got that wealth, got
Your
to the
family's
wealth.
property
Those
could be
people
wealth.
they grind their ass off to, went through struggles, slept in their cars and stuff like that, just to get where they wanted to be, and then they reached that plateau, that the American dream.
Okay. So let me present the question again. Do you believe that married couples have the same financial issues as unwed parents?
Oh yeah. Well, that okay. I'm going to use a typical. They have financial struggles, but not the single parent always have a harder struggle unless that one single parent got a great ass job, and that's really slim. Really slim. But I'm just looking at it from a basic point of view, like from a simple point of view. So from a simple point of view, the single parent is going to struggle harder. Are the married couple going to have financial? Of course they are going to have hard. But like you said, if they live at their means and not above their means, they can do good. They can do good. But even with the struggling parent by herself or by himself, if they don't got a great job, even with them living at their means, it's still a struggle for them.
All right.
Because they got to put twice as much time into their work to get the funds to be successful or keep their heads above water.
Like Tim said, just think about, they're both, just say like you have a married couple. They both got decent jobs. They don't got great jobs, but they got decent jobs. You say they they're at middle class because they make over $100,000 between the both of them a year. Say something like that, and then you say they're paying the same as the single parent rent, single person. You see what I'm saying? So now that single parent, they're gonna have less. They're gonna have less over to deal with after they do, because they doubled up on their income.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, and there's very some chances that single parents, male or female, done went and got their not saying that there are none out there, because there are some out there that went and got their masters and whatever, and they got great jobs making over $200,000, $100,000 a year. Yes, that's out there, but it's slim.
They don't mention.
Itima, you
There's
still with
more than
us?
them out there
I
than
am.
we think.
Okay, give me a second.
Definitely, there's more out there than we think. They just don't mention.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Itima, the question is, do married couples have encounter the same obstacles as financial obstacles as unwed parents?
Um, I think they do actually. I don't think it's because you got different situations. You got relationships that sometimes people are in it and they're like competing with each other. Sometimes you got a man that's with a woman and he kind of like feels some type of way because she's making a little bit more money, or there's sometimes they're in a relationship and the dude's taking advantage, but he's still going out and doing whatever he's doing in the streets and not helping, and that person is actually putting all her money into it. So it's different situations. So as far as that, like, um, I'm gonna say if the person doesn't have God, if God is not in their lives, I think that they do go through situations. I don't think it's easy for them.
Okay. Well said, well said. Patsy, same question.
I think the struggle is there, but it might not be exactly the same kind of struggles because as a single parent, whether it's man or woman, you don't have to worry about somebody bringing home your partner bringing home money and having an argument over who's paying what bills or what's going in the pot for both of you to pay whatever bills that y'all are paying. You know how much you're bringing as a single parent. You know what you're bringing into the table to pay for your bills, and you get your stuff squared off, pay your rent, pay your electric bill, whatever bills you gotta pay to put on food on the table for your kids, no matter how you do it, whether you put your money in it, going to food pantries or what have you. As opposed to a married couple, there's more argument, more things to agree upon. Like, you got the same amount of stuff to pay off as a married couple, but there's more talking about, and sometimes you may not always agree on how things are going to get paid, what's being put in the pot, whether or not y'all need to go to a food pantry or who's going to take care of that if you needed that kind of assistance within the household. So there's still the same struggle of how the bills are going to be paid. But it's more communication that has to be. So there's a little bit added on to being a married couple because there's that communication factor, whether it's there or not, that's added to one more added problem to the situation.
Okay. Tanya, same question. Do married couples have the same financial issues or obstacles as unwed parents?
Yes, they do. simple and to the point. Yes, they do.
Okay.
Just because it's two in the household doesn't mean that the money is there. There comes new with higher money is higher devils. You know, you got two people that got bringing their own personal maintenance that they need for themselves, work related, personal related. Then you got kids, you putting them in sports, you know, putting away for college fund. Yes, it's the same type of money issues, just different areas the money needs to go to.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well said. Well said. Sean?
Me personally, I think the single parent faces more difficulties than the married because being single, you have to take on um they have to take on managing all the parenting responsibilities, meaning finances, making sure the child is taken care of, fed, clothed, sheltered. um when you're married, there's two of you all. You know what I mean? That's double the income, double the responsibilities, or not double, but sharing of responsibilities. Um, yeah, I think the single parent has their struggles is a little bit more steeper than a married parent.
I agree.
Right.
Especially if they're
Yeah,
doing it alone.
piggyback onto what Sean says, in that when you have two people there, you have someone there to take on half of that stress with you, where the single parent is taking on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Right,
That stress matters. That
right.
matters.
Unless y'all are taking on each other's stresses.
Yes, you know what I'm trying to say? Exactly. At least there's a balance. At least she can say, you know what, I'm going out with the girls, I'm going out, I need a spa day. You stay here with the kids. She got that option. He got the I'm going out with the guys tonight. You're here with the kids tonight. They got that option to give each other time and space away. The single parent don't always have that option. They don't always have that option. It's always just them and the kids on a regular basis. Not saying they ain't got family and friends. We're talking about everyday living. When your family and friends are living their lives, working their 9 to 5, dealing with their kids, they're not there for you. So you're just there, you and your kids. It's a
Y'all
harder
don't
time.
feel like those are unacceptable stigmas that we still run with and we shouldn't be denouncing and trying to
No,
change?
that's what's happening now, and that's why I always
Even
speak.
if it's no, I'm saying because even if it's a single couple, it should be some type of union the same way as if you was married, especially when it's a kid being brought into the world. You get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying
Accountability.
by that. Yes, but even like I said, even if they're single, Gregory, right, and they're not in a house together, he or she still got to work their 9 to 5 and live their life. They can't. It's harder. Like when you live in a house, it's easier to make arrangements and adjustments. But you can make arrangements and adjustments, but it's not going to happen as quick as you need and as fast as you need it, because they got their own bills in their own house, living a single parent too, even though the child don't live with them. You see what I'm saying? Or they could be living with their mother or parents, but it could depend on the situation. But when they're in the house with you, when it's easier to get that break, or it's easier to get that time. I'm not saying she can't, but it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more of a challenge for that single parent than it is for the two people that are together married. Yes, they
Yes,
have their struggles, but it's harder for the single
Mm.
one.
She's struggling by herself.
Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And honestly, we're not made, not male or female is made to struggle by themselves.
That's right.
And I
No,
want to give
sir.
you an example. The Bible said it's not good for man to be alone, and a woman can never be
That's
uncovered.
why,
So that lets you
but
know that a
that's
man
why
needs a
you
woman and a
have,
woman needs a man.
that's why you have your family that's supposed to be in at that time of your struggle. That's when your family comes in. But because a struggle is a struggle, then your family can't help because they probably struggling as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys.
Yeah.
You just said something that's a cycle, Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm here.
So
I
let's
just
go. Let, Did you answer the question?
No, I mean, I would like to just put this on your question. We all know two incomes are better than one. You take the married couple and you put them against the unwed couple. The unwed couple, meaning a single parent, walks into the bank. They need a loan. The bank's going to give them probably $150,000 compared to what they're going to give the married couple. This unwed person has to pay all that money still back by his or herself. The wedded couple, they can get a higher loan from the bank. Could be 250,000, could be 350,000. But because they're able to put their income together and pay back this loan, two people is easier on them, especially if they only get $150,000 loan, the same as the unwed person. So the wedded couple, married people, they have it a little bit easier. And this is the reason why. If both parties work a fair, great job, and not stepping out on the other to just go spend frivolous money on liquor, marijuana, good times with the girls or demands. You know, they will be able to save money, budget, or whatever you want to call it, and make it happen for their self and theirs. They will be able to be survivors and get over in the world financially, long as they do what's important instead of playing with their money compared to a single person that's unwed with children.
Okay, well said. All right, guys, we got time for two more questions, so let's get these in. Etam, are you still with us?
I am.
All right, beloved. Here's the question. Are married couples more qualified to raise children as opposed to the unwed parent?
Say it again.
Is a married couple more qualified to raise a child as opposed to the unwed parent?
It's healthier, you know. It's healthier, but I mean, I think they're both capable of raising their children, but it's healthier to have for it to be the couple, logically.
All right, well
It's
said.
real.
Well said. Robert, same question.
You ready, girl? You ready?
So basically, you know, married or unwed, because there's people that is living together and they're doing just fine raising their children and they're not married. They work, both of them work, have incomes coming in together. They support each other's back when one's make a rule, the other say that's the rule for today or the week. I'm not going against mom or dad. So I know that it can work even if you're not married. If you're a couple and you're living in a home together, you will raise your children just well, long as you're a team player. So being married, you can be living in a home together and that mother might not be on the same playbook as you, or you might not be on her playbook, and one might not be working and the other smooching off of this one. So you can't say just because you're married, you're gonna raise your children better. I would say if you live together and you're on the same page, you're team players, you would do just fine with your children.
But what if they're not living together?
If they're not living together, y'all got to have some type of communication, some understanding. I set rules over here, your rules over in your house. If you say that she or he can't do something for this week and they're coming to my house, those rules that your mother laid out for you, it's going to be the same way in my home for this weekend because you messed up underneath her roof. And she told me about it. She said, I don't want him going outside or her going outside or using their phone. Give me your phone when you come to my house. Or better yet, leave that phone with your mother. Because when you come here, we're going to probably do something different. Me and time. Let me get in your mind and see why you're messing up.
Okay. Bird, you still with us?
Nah, he stepped away.
All right, Gregory.
I'm gonna have to step away too, y'all. So I'm gonna say good
All
night.
right.
All right, T.
Yep.
You
Good
sure
night,
you don't want
Tanya.
to answer this
Right.
last
Good night,
question?
Tonya.
No, I'm good. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining us.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Gregory, same question. Is a married couple more qualified to raise a child as opposed to the unwed parent?
Once again, I'm gonna say it depends on the people because you can have a married couple, a successful married couple at that. They could be a wrestler, a rapper, a basketball player. Now you got this guy or this woman that's going off attended to her career and they're not really there in the household, and the wife or the male is feeling like there's a detachment issue or something going on where they really might feel like they don't like this person no more. So they're doing whatever they you see the problems that come with two people being together because this is the society that we live in, especially when you got successful people talking about it don't even have to be a rapper. It could be a businessman or something. Somebody that has to work to make the dollar to bring it home type stuff. Or a businesswoman that has to work and bring the dollar home and the guy's feeling like he's neglected. You get what I'm saying? Or I feel like I'm not having sex with you because you haven't been home. So it's a lot of elements to that where it could be the same for a single person as a married couple.
All right. Patsy, same question. Is a married couple more qualified to raise a child as opposed to a what's the name, unwed parent?
Um, I don't think it's um some. I don't think it necessarily means that you're more qualified as a married couple to that then you're more qualified over a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
You can have more abuse in the family towards those children, raising them, than a single parent might have, and therefore that single parent has more qualification for raising their child. But it just depends on the situation in each household. Some families are very qualified and very supportive, very loving, very godly, and all that stuff. As a married couple than other families.
Okay.
Some families are just broken, you know? And it's not to say that that single parent doesn't have any brokenness. Obviously, they do because they're not with a loving partner to help them raise their them children or child or how many children you might have as a single parent. But that either way, it's not really disqualifies you as you're qualified or not as a married couple or a single parent. It depends on you as a family unit, whether there's communication, non-communication, love, whatever, whatever there's lack of um having substance in the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's way it is in your household.
Okay. Well said. Timmy, same question.
Good question about what?
I'd be brief, would be brilliant. Do you think married couples are more qualified to raise a child as opposed to an unwed parent?
It ain't that. That is a crazy dumbass question because it 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 doesn't take a rocket scientist and to know it doesn't take two. You, it's better with two, but it doesn't necessarily have to take because a single parent could be just as good as two parents. You know, just like a father can be just as a good parent as a mother, and vice versa. The mother could be just as good as the father. You know, now the difference what comes with that is when the the opposite. So the girl is supposed to be daddy's girl, and the boy mama boy. Okay, in that theory right there, the father is supposed to teach his role to the daughter of what not to accept from a man. The son gets his teachings from his mother what not to let a woman do to her son. You know, so it doesn't. It's a plus when it's both of them, and it's always good if you were married or you were in a relationship and y'all got kids. It's always good to have conversation and keep the family structure. But in this generation, is so many of them that got conflict and they're angry with one another, and so there's no communication, no wanting to reconcile or try to do something as a whole and put their selfishness aside, their pride and feelings, because that's all what mainly is pride and feelings in that, and they got to put that to the side and think about the kids, what was hurting them.
Okay. All right. Dude, same question. Is a married couple more qualified to raise a child as opposed to the unwed parent?
Well, I'm speaking in a natural sense because we can go a lot of places with people's mentals because of the way people are in this world today. But in a natural sense, it's always I'm never for the oneness because it's never supposed to be oneness. So anytime there's a one person doing it, there's always out of order. It's always wrong, and it's always going to be hard. And it's always going to be a challenge. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care how much they think they're doing for the child. It's not helping the child in the long run for the child's real spiritual and mental growth. It's not good for it. It needs to have a both balance of both the man and female. Always. Always. You raise a child? You can raise a child and the child can get good education, get a good job, and you think you raise the child to the full capability and because they got their life going on, but they really haven't achieved what they could achieve, and they really got and notice a lot of people got mental challenges and emotional issues.
Okay. Sean, same question. Is a married couple more qualified to raise a child as opposed to
PTSD, dude. That's what they be having. PTSD.
Sean? So again, the question is: Is the married couple more qualified to raise the child as opposed to the unwed parent?
I'm a piggyback off of what dude just said. Um, I talked to my daughter, who's actually she's a nurse practitioner, and she deals with psychologists and stuff like that all the time. And the conversation that we had was that she shared with me that research even suggests that children raised by married parents are more likely to thrive than children raised by single parents. Um, they said that they tend to have better schooling, meaning like they want to further their education. They even look at being family, being in a relationship. having the same, trying to mimic what they was brought up in.
With their parents, yeah.
Yeah. And so so I would say, based off of me having conversation with someone who I trust is qualified to have spoken to people that have said that this is what they've witnessed, I would say, children's raised in a married home is more likely to, I think you said, thrive than in a single parent home.
They're saying they're more qualified to raise them, either the mother
More qualified.
or the
Okay. You said qualified.
And Sean,
Okay.
let me tell
No,
you,
and
I
No,
used
let
to
Sean
marry.
answer it the way do the
I'm
qualify instead of
Right.
what they drive.
I'm sorry, because you did say
And
qualified.
your
I didn't
daughter
hear
went to
that,
school
and
for
I
that,
didn't hear
and
that.
she worked around these
Timmy, let
people.
him answer because he answered it in the way of he was talking about thriving. He didn't
Yep.
answer it. Are they qualified?
Well,
Yep. I apologize for that.
well,
And I'm
actually,
gonna be real quick.
No,
no,
Dave, let him do his thing.
before you go on, I'm going to
Yes,
tell
sir.
you did answer the question based upon the professional opinion, but go ahead and give me your perspective.
As far as qualified, I believe that that is subject to the individuals involved.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Because I told you got to be a team player. You can be married.
Yes,
One is
sir.
not a player.
Yep.
All
But
right.
thank you. That's it.
I
Thank you,
would-
guys.
Marriage is a team sport.
Yes, Tim, but everyone
That's what
ain't.
it is.
We're talking to green room.
we're gonna get this.
Even if you're single, it depends on that person.
We're gonna get this last question in. Hold tight. Itima, you still with us?
I am.
All right, beloved. This is the last question of the night. Thank you for hanging in. So the last question is basically, in what order should you build your family foundation? And these are the building blocks. The marriage, the baby carriage would be the example for the children. It's just a metaphor for the children. And God. In which order would you place those building blocks?
God first. And can I put God second again?
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's your blocks.
I love it. I love it.
Put them in all blocks.
Oh, that's what I said.
And
then very good.
after I get to know myself and and have that time with God, then I'm gonna move on to marriage, then the carriage. If I was able to do that, go back in time, I would have did. I don't regret my life, but if I had the knowledge that I have now, I would have went that way.
All right. Love it.
Drop the mic. Thanks for coming out. I'll have a good night.
For real, that's a mic drop.
Yeah,
Patsy, same question. Building blocks. What would your family structure? This is the building blocks. You have marriage, you have the child carriage that represents the children, and you have God. In which order would you place these blocks?
I would put God first. Marriage and then having children. But you gotta have like communication somewhere in all of that, because, and of course love, it's like you because if you really think about it, if you want to put God in it, you have to think about the question that Jesus was asked. Was it by the Pharisees or the tax collector? I forget who asked him, what is the greatest commandment to be kept? And Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself, as I have loved you. So if you're going to put God first, you're going to have to put that love that God has given you and love yourself, and then love the people around you, especially to be able to love the person you're going to marry or you are married to, so that way there's that love, and then you will do just about anything within that love circle, because you're gonna pray together, you're gonna follow God's commandments, you're gonna do be led by the Spirit of God to be for anything in your life, whether it's marriage or any other kind of relationship, especially bringing up children that you two bring into this world, to teach them the right way in a godly manner.
Okay, well said, well said.
That's my building blocks.
Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Timmy, same question. Be brief or be brilliant. In which order would you place the building blocks? How would you build your foundation?
There ain't no such thing as building block. Because it could go any direction. So I wouldn't say a building block. Now, when you in a relationship, you lay foundations down where you say, this is what I'm not going to accept, this is what I'll accept, and this is this and that. Like, and that's the foundation. Now you start to build, far as, the foundation starts with your financial things. But if you ain't thought about none of that, then the baby come first, and then all the other stuff comes. So it ain't no specific order. It's just how you go about handling things in the order that it comes in.
Okay. Robert, same question. Uh the building blocks, how would you build your foundation, your family structure? There's God, there's marriage, and there's the baby carriage that represents the children. In which order would you place them?
I'll tell you like this. I think that God should have made it so if there was an order that we were supposed to follow, I think that your penis and the woman's vagina should not have been allowed the penis to drop and get stiff and the vagina to open and get wet until the day you got married and after you both said, I do. And then he should have let it drop, stiffen it, open it up, wetten it up. And y'all did those two things in number 2 and 3. You should have God first.
Animals by nature.
You should have God. Listen, you should have God first. Learn what He believe. How He think you should live your life according to His book. And then, if you truly love this person and trust them, you would give your heart to them and you would marry them. If you did love them and marry them, then you might lay down that night after you got married, have sex, make love, F, whatever you call it. And then it comes the baby in the carriage. So that'll be in the order. That's in a almost damn perfect world. But because
That's what's
everyone
supposed to happen.
young and they got temptation written all over their foreheads and stuff, they go straight into, majority of the people, straight into have sex first. Then they do something wrong and they pray on trying to find God. Then they find God. And now they're saying, I'm just going to get my life in order and I'm going to get married now because I should have got married first before I had this baby. You see how the order can be in any order, but his way, it would be him first, marriage, and then you're a baby.
Okay. Gregory, same question. What would your foundation consist of? The building blocks are God, marriage, and children.
I'm gonna do something a little different from everybody else. Hear me out.
Why not? Everyone else.
It's the way of the world.
Listen. No, it's the way of the world. Listen.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
analogy on this.
Yeah.
So I'm building up. I'm gonna start with the children because
Yeah.
the children are the future and God's most precious thing that He believes on earth. So if you're thinking about the children, you're gonna think about the person that you're gonna have relations with before you even get into this commitment and y'all get to know each other and all that stuff. So now you're the two building blocks and y'all create the holy union once you come to the children factor. And on top of that, the Most High is all above.
Okay.
I hope you got the picture that I was saying. So
Now,
you got the three with God, you got the two with the couple, and then you got the child underneath. It's almost like the bottom of a diamond.
So bottom line, you're number one.
Inverted triangle.
So God is on the invitation list.
Yeah.
No, God was at the top.
Number three, your top.
He gave
not number one.
I built up. You didn't listen to me from the beginning, so you probably missed it.
You ain't gotta explain it. You ain't gotta explain it. Y'all should. You missed it.
I didn't listen. Don't even try to blow my
Hold on. Let's get the other two people. Sean, same thing. What would your foundation be? What would it consist of? In what order? You got
It would be God, marriage. If I had it to do it all over again, it'd be God, marriage, and then the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am. Yeah, it would be God, marriage, and children. The way that my belief designed it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't mad at you if you had the kids before marriage now.
Well, I asked him for forgiveness and he forgave me.
You see, and that's what some people do after they have the child. They say, "Oh my God, I don't know what I did wrong. I got to find the Lord now. Forgive me." Okay, I found the Lord now. Now I'm gonna go get married.
Same question. You're gonna answer it last. So it's.
I want to piggyback off of what you got. So the answer to that question for you, Rob, is that it's called obedience. Because we don't have obedience, we want to say, well, why did God let us do this? Why did God let us? He told us to do certain things. It's because we even got in slavery because of disobedience. Because we're stick-necked people. Because we want to do what we want when we want to do it and bypass things and do things the way we want to do it. Oh, since you want to do that, that's why your ass is going to slavery, and you're gonna have to deal with this for a certain amount of years. Then when I bring your ass out, if you ain't correct, you won't come in. I'll have you wandering around the desert for 40 years until you get what I'm trying to say to you. Obedience. How are you going to blame the Most High? Most High is perfect. We're the ones who are trying to go outside of perfectness to get what we want. And then once we realize what we want at the end of the day, this led me to a dead end street, because he was trying to tell you that because you got caught up in the lust of the world and the feelings and the emotions of the world. It's obedience. Yes, we weren't supposed to have sex until we were married. But why did they? It's called temptation. You got to fight temptation. Be obedient. You got to fight yourself. Be obedient. But yes, I would do marriage. I would do the Most High first, because without Most High, I can't do nothing. So I need the Most High and His instructions, and then I'll get up a wife. Because even though God loves the children, husband and wife still come first with Him. Why? Because without them, there would be no children. And back in the days, they sacrificed the children, not sacrifice like kill them, but if there was things going on, the husband saved his wife first, not his children. Why? Because you can always make more children. People. This is why relationships don't work. This is what fucks up relationships when you have sex before marriage, because a woman's not ever supposed to be with nobody but the man she's with. Only supposed to know that man she's with, not no other man. That's how you can become one. That's how y'all one. The husband and the wife are more important than the children.
Yeah.
That's why it's Most High, and that's what it is. But today it's the other way around. The children are more important. The children are more important. Everybody's living for the children, and that's why I think now
that's what
every show you got on TV,
animals,
children,
real animals don't give a fuck about their children.
Let the dude finish.
They understand.
Let him finish dripping.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how good you raise your children, look at the prodigal son. At the end of the day, no matter, your children will show you their ass, and then some will keep showing you their ass, but some will go out into the world and be like, you know what, my mom and dad was right. I'm going home because I'm better there.
That's right.
Right. Because
Right.
That's right.
Right. That's because the prodigal son came to himself.
All right. We're going to end it on that note. Say less. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming out. God bless y'all.